I struggle with saying no to some engagements as a student. Hey guys, so it's another video on tackling the problems that keeps you less productive as a medical student. So, from what I said earlier, I struggle with saying no to so many engagements. How do I even start? How do I even start? Well, as a human being, actually, like personally, you're going to have like personal problems to deal with. You're going to have like your life, apart from the entire activity and of going to school, going for practicals, back to back lectures, tutorials, and all of that. You're going to have other things, other side activities that you do, probably your business, church programs, and all that. And then, like, when you scale all of these things, like they all have their importance, right? They all have like their various, like the various things that they do for you in your life. So saying no becomes hard. Like saying no seems like it's almost impossible, so you try to like juggle everything and all of that. But then along the line you actually realize that you have to drop off a lot of things. So that's where the like whole issue of saying no to so many engagements comes in. So I'm going to tell you what I do when I have a lot of engagements. So what I do is that I list out every single thing that I need to do. And then as I've listed out everything that I need to do, then I'll ask myself, which amongst all these are my priorities? Like which amongst them are my core priorities? Are what I know that like right now this is what needs me at the moment. This is like what needs majority of my attention at the moment. So I focus on it. I'm going to give you guys an example. I was actively learning copywriting last year, 2024, but then I around November, yeah, I was done with my 200 level, moving to 300 level. So I've already seen all my first in course, second in course results, and then they were like bad, like they did not meet my definition of a good result or like a fair result, you understand? So I had to say no to copywriting at that point. It was hard, right? Like it was really, really tough. I couldn't even say no like right away. It took me like about 2 months before, after weighing all my options, I weighed like what's the best thing that would happen if I say no to copywriting, what's the worst thing that will happen if I say no to copywriting, what's the best thing that will happen if I focus on my studies, and what's the worst that could happen if I focus on my studies. So like it's more like it these four questions I've listed, right? They helped me to like analyze my choices, you understand? And so that was what made me drop copywriting to like, focus on my studies, because I was writing a professional exam the next year, that's this year, 2025. And it went well, right? I'm not going to say that I regret dropping the copywriting, because I mean I eventually got back my studies. I eventually became better. I eventually became better, right? But then the only disadvantage was that for me to go back to the copywriting was kind of tough. And then I decided to shift my focus to something else that I could sustain even when another professional exam comes. So it won't be like in the next 18 months or 14 months when I have another professional exam to write, I'm going to go back and drop the copywriting again. So to recap, if you struggle with saying no to so many activities as a medical student or as a student generally, remember what I said. You list out your priorities, you list out everything that you need to do, right? So when you list out everything you need to do, then you mark the ones that are your priorities. And after marking the ones that are priorities, you are going to assess the best slash worst case scenario. What's the best thing that is going to happen if you do this? What's the best thing that is going to happen if you don't do this? What's the worst thing that will happen if you do this? What's the worst that will happen if you don't do this? And then use that and analyze everything. I hope this helps. Bye.